Hello YouTube, this is Andrew. I'm the Retro Gamer, and I'm gonna do my first YouTube video I've ever did. So don't judge me if I do things bad or I left things out. Just leave comments and don't be all pissy about it. So I'm sure I'm gonna miss a lot of things on this. It's my first one, so just like write down some tips or something that I should do for future reviews, stuff like that. But here's my first one, and hope you like it. All right, this is the Retron3 that I picked up probably, let's see, just the beginning of this month of December for my birthday, and it's really good. What it does is it plays your NES games, Sega Genesis, and your Super Nintendo games. I'll give you a quick overview of it. This here is like a little. It has a little knob on here, so you can have all your games in at the same time. And then if you want to switch game, you just turn it off, and then use this knob. So you can turn it from NES Sega Genesis to Super Nintendo, and then it goes a fourth one. I don't know what that does, but oh well. Um, the system feels really sturdy, and it's really lightweight, so I'm surprised by that. And it's pretty small too, so it's not like huge. It's about the size, maybe. It's smaller than the Wii, so it's I mean taller maybe, but not as big. Um, so otherwise, here's what makes this one different from other retro systems is it has controller ports for all your old-fashioned controllers. Like there's the NES controller port, the Super NES controller ports, and your Sega Genesis controller ports. Which, in a good way, if you want to use like the NES zapper, you can actually use that. Which on most other retro systems, you wouldn't be able to do that. Um, so yeah, it's really good and stuff. Everything feels good and it works really well. And on the back here, there's the things for composite. This little switch here is for changing from Japanese to American. Has the S video right here, right there. For I've never actually found a time. I mean like I've never used it before, so I don't know much about it. And there's the AC adapter thing. We have three LED lights on the side, just telling you which system you're playing it on, whatever. So yeah, it's pretty much the system right there. Now some of you might be wondering what this little black thingy is for. Oops, sorry. What this little black thing is for. It's for these controllers that it comes with, which again aren't necessary since it has the controller ports with it. But it comes with two controllers. They're wireless. This this one being single player because it has a little dot right there. Only has one dot. So it has two. So this is the second player controller. So here's a quick overview of these. It has a D-pad, the sorry, the start A B C X Y Z, and so it looks like a Sega Genesis controller. It's just like looks like a clone. It uses two AAA batteries and stuff. Um, and yeah, it's pretty sturdy and stuff. I mean, it feels exactly like a Sega Genesis controller. Has pretty good weight on it, so it's like not too heavy, not that light. So yeah, it's just pretty much a basic kind of controller thing for it. Now for the system for bad things, the main one is with these controllers, and that's because when you're playing it with these controllers, you have to actually have the system and the controller level in order for it to work. Because since it uses the infrared, so if the controller is higher than the system, it's not gonna read it, and it's not gonna work. Or if you have it lower, it's not gonna read it, not gonna work. So that's the main problem that everyone has with these, and that's why everyone says the controllers are bad. So if you have regular controllers, might as well just use those. And the second thing is, even though this is pretty much the same button layout as the Sega Genesis, they had to mix match the controls for it. This might be hard to see, but the Y is X, X is Y, um, Z is still Z, B is A is B, and C is C. Which I mean, I don't have a Sega Genesis controller. I haven't really taken like a good look at it, so I don't know which buttons are which. But I'm pretty sure this is exactly how it's laid out. So I'm almost positive that's how it's laid out. So I don't know why they had to screw that up. But for the SNES controllers, though, it kind of makes more sense since it has those bumpers, but this doesn't. So instead, you use C and Z as the bumpers, which is kind of a bad thing. Like if you're playing racing games and those are like to drift, like F-Zero, like they're all really cluttered and you can't accelerate while you drift and all that stuff. So yeah. Um, but now some good things is, oh wait, let me go back to one more bad thing. I don't know for the Sega Genesis. The one problem about two problems about this is one, which I can completely understand, is you can't use the Sega CD on it. So like I said, I can completely understand that. So like that. But also you can't I don't know if you can use the 32X. You might be able to. I haven't tried it. I don't even have a Sega Genesis game, so I can't tell you much about the Sega Genesis port. But I'm pretty sure you probably can't. So that's the only problem about that. Otherwise everything works just like it should. Um yeah, otherwise a good thing about these controllers, though, why you shouldn't always throw them away, is for the NES games, it works pretty well, and it also the X and Y buttons act as the turbo buttons, which regular NES controllers don't have, or you can just buy like one of those NES turbos or Advantage or whatever. So pretty good for NES games, but otherwise for Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, they're trash. So yeah, that's my review. Remember, leave tips and stuff that I might have missed or anything like that, and don't be so pissy about it. This is my first review, stuff like that. So thanks, bye.